Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? It's Andy's Crypto Talk. We're back in the building, and we be building on these price actions that we looked at before. I'm just going to do a real quick video here. I just wanted to do a real quick update. Check out the Telegram if you want more day-to-day type stuff. I know I have been kind of AFK, and I haven't made a video in a while. But I told you guys what to do, and I told you what was coming. So as long as you kind of just follow the plan, then you're golden. All the images are on the screen, as you can see. You can take screenshots, you can add them to your charts, do whatever you got to do. But like I said, check out the Telegram. I am active more often in there, and as always, we're bringing you all this information about what's going on in the markets. And it's not financial advice, but I'm just showing you guys what I'm looking at. So just for a quick update video on what's been happening, a lot of turmoil and things have happened politically and around the world, but as you can tell, the markets don't really care. This is the crypto market cap. We had drawn projections. As you can see, this guy kind of followed suit. Then I said, we kind of have to get above this sort of area. The white line at first was where I was talking about, but then later, we drew this yellow line that's kind of where we're looking at a little bit of fluctuations, but it's going to send after. And so that's actually what we've seen happen, and it's sent up through there. So this is the total market cap. I think we were looking at 5 to 10 trillion is the targets. It just depends on how crazy this bull cycle goes. I mean, it's looking like it's 5 trillion's kind of a gimme at this point. That's kind of where it looks like we're going, but things could get a lot crazier in the next few months, and this could go parabolic, and we could see a major influx, especially with all the news that we've seen coming out about the total worldwide adoption of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin especially. That's why we saw Bitcoin dominance, which we talked about a long time ago. That was kind of our next target, was the 65 sort of area. It did overshoot that area a little bit, but this was the Bitcoin strength we talked about for a long time. So now that we're actually following the projection of this red sort of go down from here, you can see it's accelerating quite a bit. There's a major point right here, major velocity point that it stopped on, 60.5. And then we kind of see what happens from here, but we want to see it break underneath this trend line for max continuation, right? But this sort of shows me that what we have looked at in the past, altcoin season is kicking off. We're above 50%, and we can see altcoin season peak all the way up into these 90, 80 to 90 sort of range is what I would say. It hasn't touched 100 when this was created, but that's not, it touched 100 right there one time. So I wouldn't use that as sort of proper guidance, as like wait for it to get to 100. But I think between 80 and 95, we can safely assume that altcoin season's not cooked yet, that we still got room to move, right? So speaking of the altcoins, we did see Ethereum finally worth talking about now. We made a lot of lines and a lot of sort of analysis on ETH BTC. So showing us that we wanted to see this break back up, and it started to do that, which is looking really good for Ethereum, which looks for the whole altcoin market. It looks really good. Which one is this? Is the one I think we were most recently on. And so this is sort of the major trend correction would be this one, right? That's from sort of all-time high prices, corrected down. It's coming back out of that correction now. I think we were in free territory above this 3,000 mark. I swore I drew some lines on something, but I just didn't, I was so unhappy with Ethereum that I just was not even charting it good enough, to be honest. But this looks like an easy play to 5K from here, and where it goes after that, I don't know. But this is a longer term. You can see this longer term, right? It hit 4,900, or it hit almost 5K back in 21, right? And now it's, you know, it's still correcting that bull flag. And once this flag breaks out, you know, above this sort of, I would say even above 4,000, this thing should really fly. And we could see some major fireworks from something like Solana, or sorry, Ethereum. Solana next, we'll quickly dive into that. Because I think Solana ETH, that looks like it bottomed there. It might make a V recovery here. But most importantly, the Sol BTC is really starting to look nice. So this is kind of that inverted head and shoulders that we talked about. That kind of got invalidated. But in the larger scheme of things, I think we're still looking at this potential larger inverted head and shoulder structure. So this projection is still valid up into this sort of area here. So seeing something like that on Sol BTC, and that would have Solana really move back up. You can see Sol dominance, like it just made a big pop the other day. That was huge. 7% on the day. So I mean, just a few more big days like that, and we'll see Solana USD picking back up strength. As you can see, the projections we had sort of laid off on Solana. This obviously went a little bit deeper and created that inverted head and shoulders down here. And that's what we've seen play out time and time again. This is sort of the projection we're in. Look at how close that is. This is just a hand drawing, man. And that's kind of where I'm looking at for Solana next. We're in this area, like this projection shows. That this is sort of the area where we'll see maybe a little flag get created here. So maybe look for like a little flag to get created, and then pop out of that and continue on this large move that Solana's going to make. I believe at least to these all-time highs in the next few weeks potentially. This could move quite quickly because now we see that we've moved up above this previous high, and that's going to be really good. XRP was making some major moves, so if you caught that right on, this is in an all-time high flag right now. So once it figures out which way it goes, whether it goes like that or whether it just continues on up, I think XRP is due to have another big move. This one, you know, you'd be looking at between the $5 and $10 mark. I would say somewhere within here is the target for XRP. That would be a pretty decent move. I mean, that would make sense just based off the type of moves that XRP makes, that it just rockets up here and then might just cave back down, you know, once it hits these targets. Jesus, expect kind of like a dump. I don't know how big, I don't know where it goes from, but expect a dump for sure. BTC, of course, we didn't talk about that. Let's look at our projections and see where we were at. What the hell is this? I have no clue what that is. This is our chart. Cloudy the 3rd is in there. So the projection from here was just to have this parabolic ascension up. Now again, we're seeing basically the same thing on BTC, that it's looking similar to XRP in the fact that it's doing this this bull flag above all time high. I don't think it's like, that's too many squiggles. It's gonna go like that more than likely, and we'll be looking at Cloudy the 4th. But yeah, I think up for everything significantly from here. USDT dominance is going down, and that's what we like to see. This is kind of the zone that I was saying, this is a big zone to clear underneath. Who knows if we just bounce around down lower, and if we continue, we could just continue sideways because they print more of this. as far as I know. So yeah, I mean, looking at total 2 and total 3, these things are exactly where we're looking for a major breakout. You know, this looks very much like Ethereum, and this one will look very similar as well. This one did make a little bit of a higher high here, but that's the resistance points that we see on both those charts. Once they break those resistance points, we're going to see some major moves. I mean major. In the words of the great Orangey, it's just getting started. So that's really all I want to talk about on a little bit of an update, just to show you guys our projections. It's following the plan. That's all that matters. You know, maybe it did it a little bit later, and maybe it went a little bit lower, but overall we're going in the direction that I'm pointing, and that's really all that matters. With this one, actually, if you look at this more near-term trend, that it's broken up, and now we're just kind of like doing a little bit of a retest slash bull flag right up here. I think that's what we see, a little bit of a flag happen here, and it continues on up. Citadel, this is the one that is looking like a waking giant. So I mean, this is the recent move from the lows to the high. You're looking at 117% move so far. And if we zoom out, you know, from this recent sort of trend, we can see that this is coming to an end now. It reset my chart, so I lost everything. I don't know why. Thanks, Deck Screener, for that. But yeah, this is the more near-term trend that I think is coming to an end here, and we'll break this downtrend, and we'll start on our glorious uptrend that I believe already has started. If you look on the daily, we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low. Now we just need to form a higher high over this over 3.2 sort of mil mark. Once we see that confirmed, then we know, you know, after that we'll see maybe a higher low, and then we'll just continue going higher and higher. This has a lot of room to move. As you can see, this, you know, what they call in meme coins and in general, a lot of altcoins, they have what's called a test pump. So, you know, launch pump, but this is the test pump, is really this. And then they go into a consolidation period, which was this. This is what is known as accumulation phase. This, you know, if you want to look into it more, look into Wyckoff accumulation and understand accumulation phases. But generally they look, you know, very similar to this, and they end with kind of this rounded sort of bottom, a bounce up, and it will continue flying. And then we'll see what's called the real pump. I don't have the meme. I wish I could bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up on another screen here real quick. Because I used to keep this one. I used to have it saved. Oh man, I don't know where it is. I have so many charts, it's tough to find sometimes. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So test pump and then real pump. So you know, this 97% down, and then it continues to fly 33,600%. So I think that's similar to what we'll see here. Maybe not 33,000%, but we'll see a major real pump. And this one did go down a significant value. So, you know, anybody still in this, 98% drawdown. I mean, if anybody in this sells very soon after, they're going to be regretting it, because this is going to go up significantly. So that's really all I want to talk to you guys about, show you the updates, show you what I think is coming, and let you know that Citadel is primed right now. It's about to blast off here. So thanks for tuning in. Check out the links in the description, and we'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully I'll get another video here fairly shortly for you guys, especially if anything sort of exciting happens. But for now, it's going to go up, and it's going to go up only basically for a little while. I think at least a few months we're going to see up only. So strap in, and we'll catch you all in the Telegram.